Hello everyone. So, this month I worked primarily on the back-end data structure stuff for the object system, like last month. However, I also added a lot of polish and smoothness to the movement system and the physical interaction mechanics. I've also started putting together a concept for an improved version of the interaction system. The current method that I'm using to grab onto heavy objects uses the source engine constraint system, the inbuilt method of having two physical objects interact with one another, one of which, of course, being the player. I have some experience developing physical interaction systems like this in the past, and I'm noticing trends between then and now. Namely, that whenever you're trying to create a physical interaction system, it's either Newtonian complete or it's not, and it's usually unwise to try to force something to be when it's not possible. You can't fake it. It either is or it isn't. The source engine is not Newtonian complete, but I was trying to design a physical interaction system that was. To that end, I'm going to be making a new physical interaction system that isn't Newtonian complete, but will end up giving me far more control over the actual physical interactions themselves and how they affect your player. This means trusting the physics engine less and my own code more, which is going to have the physics interact far more with the actual mechanics of Roots itself. The additions that I've made to the data structure for the object system include things like liquids, as well as other resources such as ammunition and electrical power. The added liquids include things such as different types of gasoline, such as standard petroleum and diesel, different types of water, like pure or radioactive or contaminated water, various different kinds of blood, and that includes blood types and bloods from different creatures. I also, of course, added items in the game that are able to convert one resource into another, like, for example, an electrical generator that can turn gasoline into electrical power. The differing blood types will be especially important in the new health system. People who have understanding of how the different blood types interact with various medications and chemicals and they can administer to somebody is going to be extraordinarily important. However, I will preface this by saying that even though there will be an additional amount of complexity added to the healing system for people who are going to play as doctors and such, certain in-game mechanics such as the Combine healing solution will still be just as easy to use before, so it's not going to just add an inner level of complexity that makes the system inaccessible to everyone. That also makes such resources far more valuable because they're universally applicable. In addition to the various resources and liquids that I had been working on, I also added components to the object system in regards to how dirty and clean an object can be, in addition to its temperature and the effects of its temperature. Now, the cleanliness of an object can affect its function in a variety of ways, from a gun jamming up because it's filled with mud to a computer device short-circuiting because it's wet. On top of this, as you may have seen in the clips I'm showing in the video, I have some additional material properties added to individual objects, things like having material components of wood or metal or plastic, and at the moment you can see that changes the sound that they make whenever you grab hold of them, although that will in the future affect almost every physical component of the object itself. And of course you've also been able to see the additional smoothness in the movement of the character and the way that they interact with physical objects. The movement method that I used tended to have some shakiness to it, some jitteriness, and I've tried to apply some things to the way you move and to the physical camera that the player is using itself that helps make these feel a lot better, a lot less janky. I think you'll like it. I'm decently satisfied with what I was able to get done this month, although it's nothing compared to what I had originally wanted to do. I thought that after the holidays I would be quite free to work on Roots as much as I pleased, but unfortunately then we got that Arctic blast and I was quite busy at work for the first majority of the month when the temperatures dropped and the entire planet was blanketed in snow. But as the weather has eased up, so has my work schedule, and so I've been able to dedicate more time to Roots. I hope that this trend continues because there's a lot more that I want to work on and show off to you next month.